So why do you love being a DJ? What is it about being a DJ that excites you?
Um, the free drink cards.
Same, bro. Same.
that's, the, that's the
You
only
know what it is? It's your boy Abdul-Salaam, aka Brother Jabril, doing my thing. Interview today with Ian Castillo. Want to remind you guys to get your tickets now. They're $10 for pre-sale. At the door, they're going to be $20. The day of the show at midnight, the price will go up to $30. So please show up early, number one. But number two, get tickets early. It's the best time to get them. Now, enjoy my interview. I know I did with Ian Castillo. Your boy Jay Salam, aka Brother Jabril, in the building with my man Ian Castillo.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah. Oh, uh, exposure, October 27th. My man Ian, as well as Tony Powell, and of course our helmsman for the evening, Mr. DJ Nimbus, is going to be joining. Um, well, you will be joining those guys. So looking
Right.
forward to it, man. Looking forward to seeing you on the stage. Unfortunately, I won't be there this month, but uh, it gives you guys more room to play, more time to
Yeah,
play anyway. So that's good.
we'll hold it down without you.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So, my first question is so that we can kind of get to know you a little bit better, so my audience can get to know you a little bit better. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your DJ name, where you're from, the genres of music that you like besides house music, and any other thing that you feel might be pertinent.
Right. So born and raised here in Houston, Texas. Lived here for a good chunk of my life. I also lived in San Antonio as well. Um, I used to be part of this group called Kind of Super Disco back in the day. We used to throw parties around town. Um, you know, uh, back
Legendary.
when riches back when riches were around, and uh, Davenport, Boondocks, um, just a plethora of places brought a lot of crazy DJs down that now are super big. So I was kind of happy that we were kind of like in that cusp of, hey, these guys are going to be hot, and then they just blew up out of nowhere. Um, Also was part of um, Solar Grooves for a little while. Back in KPFT days, that was a super fun time in my life. Got to do a lot of stuff that I never got to experience before, especially when it comes to the radio. It's a different experience whenever you're, tuning in your car versus showing all that kind of production in together, right? So seeing how everything kind of works in the back end, things like that. Um, right now, I'm going by my normal name for my DJ name, just Ian Castillo. Back in the day, it used to be Ice Cream, but kind of stopped that. um, we all go through phases of different names and things like that. Right now, DJing, um, I'm kind of leaning towards more kind of like this funky kind of new disco type of kind of sound. That's what I kind of like. But man, like we talked about before, like I'm all over the place. I could play techno, I could play house, I could play deep, Chicago, whatever. It really doesn't matter. In my personal time lately, I've been listening to more down tempo music or like chill R&B, kind of like trip hopish kind of stuff. That's mostly out of the UK actually. They got some good stuff going on out there.
That's a really cool style of music that I'm into as well. Like it's I haven't thought about it in a while though. Is there a lot of new music coming out?
Yeah, man. I just kind of went down this rabbit hole because I'm not trying to divulge too much stuff, but me and Son were talking about some things when I was over there
Right.
um, last weekend, and and I was kind of like, you know what? I just haven't really thought about it, and I just kind of went in and just went down this rabbit hole. And I started listening to. You remember the old Mushroom Jazz, My Friend
Oh,
albums?
oh, of course, yeah.
Classics.
Classics, yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of went through that again, and I was like, I just started open the door, and it was, how that goes. It just keeps on going. So, and then we stumbled upon the UK style of down tempo, and there's some stuff coming out of America too, just a little more into that. I guess that DJ slash like um, Z Trip kind of vibe kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not really like songs, you know what I mean? Just kind of like throw a loop of this vocal in here and then take it back out, put it back in again, take it back out, kind of thing. So,
Yeah. Nice. So I love to ask people this question. It's one of my favorite questions to ask, and that's finish the sentence. I DJ because. So why don't you do that for us? I DJ because.
on the fly, I DJ because it's my opportunity to share something that's very personal to me with everyone else,
Nice.
right? Because for me, music has always been a very kind of, I don't want to say secretive, but it's just like me, my personality. I've, even, people that I've known for a long time, I say, if you really want to get to know me, just listen to all the catalog that I have in my music, and then you'll understand how I am. And so when I share music with people, it's to me, it's very personal. It's very, a very, um, I don't want to say emotional, but just a very vulnerable thing for me, right? So.
It makes sense though. You're
Mhm.
laying everything out. You're laying everything out for people, and you're saying, "This is me. This is a representation of me through music."
Right.
And so you want people to like it, of course.
Right. So when people don't dance, you're like,
Shit.
these people don't like me. Shit. I don't know.
That's hilarious. So tell us about the first place you ever encountered house music. What was that experience like for you?
There was this club here back in the day where I shouldn't have been at my age. I shouldn't. I'm gonna preface that. Let's put an asterisk there. I shouldn't have been there at my age, but I was got cool with everyone. This place called Club Vision.
Oh
It's an
wow.
after
Yeah,
hours
yeah.
place,
JD
and
Arnold,
that's
not it wasn't JD
no,
Arnold, it was a couple of guys from some that started that, right? Leroy
I believe so.
Peters.
I
Yeah.
know 606 had the back room with the drum and bass
Yep.
and reggae. He did in the back.
Yep.
Um, that's kind of my first introduction. Don't get me wrong, that was like going from 0 to 100 real
Right.
quick. It wasn't like an ease into it. And
Mhm.
then, but from there, that's kind of where I kind of branched out into other stuff because, I was young. I was, high school. I didn't know better. I had, Daft Punk was kind of like the thing. Whatever was playing on the radio, because back in those times, they were playing at least electronic music on the radio,
Yeah.
not the stuff that uh, EDM stuff that they're playing now. More soulful. It was like Sonic and like I said, Daft Punk before. Um, there were just a lot of different types of music that was on there, and then eventually Roxy. Eventually,
Wow.
when I figured finally
Roxy.
figured out, yeah, I know. When I finally figured out what type of music I liked, it came into at the flat. Honestly,
Right.
back
Oh,
when
dope.
before Sun was the owner,
Hmm.
back in Rocksteady Mondays. That's where
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was a
I
reggae night.
that that was kind of how I kind of got into the down tempo and stuff like that because later on it kind of evolved. It wasn't so much reggae. It went to
Right.
like kind of world music, and then it kind of went to this down tempo kind of stuff. And I love that place since the beginning. I don't want to give them too much shout outs, but yeah, it was great. And it was good to put a face to the guy that was on the radio
Yeah.
because once when he said, I'm DJ Son, and I was like, oh, you. It was like meeting a celebrity, kind of, sort of. I was like, oh yeah, I used to. tune into you in the closet because my parents didn't want me like using the radio so loud. So I had to listen to you in the closet because you were the only person that was playing good music at the time. So that's kind of how I got into the into the whole scene, I
Shout out
guess.
DJ Sun, man. I mean,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
he's definitely the OG, triple OG of the Houston scene for sure for underground music.
Hmm.
He's a big house music fan too. He gets sneaky on you, man. Like pull out some vinyl and you're like, what are you gonna play? And then he just kills it. You're like, what the hell? What's going on?
Oh, that's what happened this Saturday. This past Saturday, it was kind of like, you pulled that out. That's didn't expect that. All right,
Yeah, I know,
cool,
man.
cool,
He brings it, bro. He brings it.
cool.
So why do you love being a DJ? What is it about being a DJ that excites you?
The free drink cards.
Same, bro. Same.
that's, the, that's the only reason why
That's
we're
the
getting
only
gang, baby.
reason.
Only
Free
reason.
drinks.
Free drinks.
Drink up.
Um, no, it's just kind of my artistic outlet, I guess you can say. What I do on a daily basis is more, computer science and things like that. So, and when dealing with technology, and don't get me wrong, this is especially nowadays with the whole CDJs and everything like that, and controllers, it's all technology now. That's why everyone usually calls me up when something breaks. But but no, it's just a way for me to kind of just let loose, kind of take it easy, kind of turn my brain off a little bit. Especially now, back in the day, it was when I think whenever DJ is cutting their teeth, they just want to play, 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 play. You just show up, to places and you're not even supposed to play. You got your records with you. It's like, hey, I got my records in the car, man. I got my headphones. You mind if I throw out 3 tracks real quick or something like that? I'm not like that no more. I'm just kind of like, yeah, if you invite me out, I'll come DJ, but like I'm not gonna, you know, follow you to the ends of the earth trying to like, hey, what's up, man? What's up? Can I DJ? Can I DJ? I think I've already paid my dues as well as you have, and a lot of other people, veterans. We're just kind of like, hey, we're chilling in the cut. If you invite me out, cool, yeah, I'll come jam with you if I got free time, yeah. But from working, I'm gonna say no because at least I'm gonna get paid for work.
Exactly. So tell me a little bit about kind of super disco and that legacy. I mean, you guys had a long standing run from Boondocks to where else did you guys move that show to?
We had Boondocks, we had Numbers.
Right.
We had at one point we had a warehouse that we were doing stuff. We had uh, Secret Group. Forgot
Mm-hmm.
about that. We did a show or two at Davenport, of course, and then Riches, and that was pretty much it. I mean, when in the inception of Spire in the back room, we were doing that for a little bit too, but
Right.
that was kind of here and there, and then they decided to go
Different
hip
direction.
hop. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
I never try to talk shit about other places, and their decisions. Sometimes
yeah,
you
yeah,
just got to move. You got to make the move that makes sense for your company, for your business, whatever, even if it's at the sacrifice of cool shit.
yeah.
Cool
I
music.
mean, I guess from a corporate standpoint, I understand because I'm in that world.
Yeah.
They're gonna if I'm gonna invest in something that's gonna make money, then I'm just gonna have to do it. It's not about the looks at that point in time. So,
No.
uh, you know, back in the day when we were younger, we'd be like, man, you guys just sell out and all this stuff like that. But we know now the way business is, and I understand why people make those decisions that they make,
Yeah.
even though I may not like it. But anyway, so kind of super disco. I think we ran for about 5 years. I want to say,
Yeah. Crazy.
um, yeah, yeah, 5 years, and then we just kind of ran its course, and I think we ended at the exact right time because the following year was COVID. So,
Oh, that's yeah.
like three months later was COVID.
Yeah.
So,
Jeez.
it was a bittersweet thing. It didn't we didn't it didn't end the way I would have liked.
Mhm.
Uh, but kind of like Dave Chappelle show, it didn't end like how I would like, but it was a Chappelle, so it was still a good time. Concert for Disco, still a good time. A lot of people come up to me, especially if I wear the shirt. I'm like, oh man, yeah, those parties were great, and blah 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 blah. Every time I get a lot of love for that. So I'm happy at least that we made some kind of impact in the community and kind of sort of paved the way for a lot of that sound to be popular now because now all those artists that we booked, now everyone's booking those artists in town, and back then people weren't batting an eye at, right? They were just kind of like, oh no, no, I don't want to book those guys, and we don't know how they're gonna do and things like that, and we were just turning it out, and now they're a big deal. So, and that's just to kind of show how our musical taste was. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I wish I could go back to the old school style at Boondocks, charge a $3 cover. It was special. So you come up to the door, you had a $5 on you, right? The cover was $3. You get $2 left over, right, from that, which is just enough to buy a PBR. So it's a show and a beer for
Oh
five
my
bucks.
god,
So that was the way we did the numbers back then. If anybody wanted to know that.
that's hilarious. I never
Hmm.
even knew that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I kind of liked it the way that was because it was just I don't know. It wasn't. It kind of gave the impression that it wasn't really about the money, and it really wasn't.
Yeah,
It was just kind of there's cost involved in the setup and things like that. So that's as long as we broke even, we were cool. So.
that's exactly the way my philosophy is about exposure right now. It's like we're building something. Um, I mean, exposure's been established for a while, but we're building something back, and I'm just willing to just invest into Houston and build and see what happens. Like if it
Hmm.
becomes another big occasion for people to come out, then great. We hope to kind of reach out to more of the younger crowd as well, because it's not just going to be
Hmm.
just the old heads and stuff like that. We want to really reach out and be a part of that. For us, it's not so much about the money, but we decided to move away from the club
Hmm.
industry. There's an argument to be had about whether or not it's good or bad nowadays in Houston, but I'd rather just stay away from that and just say, look, we're just here to be
Right.
independent dance music promoters, and you know, we're not here to step on anybody's toes. We're here to make their toes dance. So hopefully we can be a
Right.
part of
Uh,
that,
and
part of facilitating it.
I really applaud you guys for doing that. Actually, a lot of times when, especially after the fact, um, or at least when we were booking shows with and going to different venues, we would always have that stigma in the back of whenever we do it at certain venues, it would be like, oh, I don't like that place, so I'm not going,
Yeah,
and things like that. And I don't like this person, or I don't like that person. That's why I don't want to go to that show, or and also like that. And when you do it by yourself and it's your own warehouse, you don't have all that going on.
exactly.
Um, so it yeah, I prefer it that way. Honestly, I don't like going to places and especially nowadays since I don't hang out as much anymore.
Mhm.
It's like yeah, you go there and it's like oh yeah, and oh have you heard this and this has happened here? And I was like no, I didn't, and I'm good without knowing.
To talk to me a little bit about, kind of Super Disto had some amazing and legendary DJs come through. What would you say is probably one of the highlights of your experience with kind of Super Disco and booking those DJs?
um, okay, I mean the highlights would generally be like the best parties. I would say I have a top. I say I have a top five. All right.
Okay.
So personally, my favorite party was, or probably should have worked in reverse. So Pete, what's his name? His DJ name, Moon Boots. We booked him consistently for several years before he got signed on to a junior deep, and then his price went crazy high.
Right.
But he used to, before he got married, he used to be a little bit of a wild guy, and he just kind of just went drink for drink with us at Boondocks back in the day, and we just got totally wasted. And I'll tell you, there's a side story that comes with that I'll tell you off camera, but I don't
Okay.
want it to be public. Anyway, but very, 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 very fun times with Pete. Now he's more of a. It's good to see the evolution of him because now he's more of a reserved family guy. He has kids now, or a kid now. He's married, so he's
Yeah.
like all settled down. So if we'll have a beer or two, and then he's like, "I'm done. I'm good."
Right. Yeah.
I was like, we're kind of the same way now too.
Yeah.
Um, Next party was um, hmm, I would say no, not Nicole Madaver. Um, yeah, no, Nicole Madaver. That one show was a weird show. It was. I don't know if you remember back when we had this nor'easter storm. There was like this huge storm that happened in the New York main area, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago,
Yep.
and that ended up canceling the show when we first announced it. And we were like pretty much sold out at that point,
Oh man.
and we had to reschedule for a different date. And a lot of people asked for refunds, things like that.
Sure.
But we ended up making it work at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Um, and it ended up turning out just to be kind of a really spectacular show. You know, her and I got cool, and her and myself and her tour manager got real cool too. So, still keep in touch to this day. We're still tight, and whenever they come to town, I always like say what's up and come hang out for a little bit at least.
Nice.
Next one would be I can't think of his name right now. It's gonna suck. I'm gonna skip that one for now. The number two was Richie Houghton. That one was a miracle pull at the
Really? Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It just because like
Plastic
that
Man.
we shouldn't have been able to pull.
Right.
Basically, that's kind of how that happened. It was just we had to go get like specific type of sound. We had to get a Midas soundboard. We had
Oh
to get all
wow.
this kind of special equipment, and we had they had a Richie had his own like sound engineer come down just to come down to make sure the sound was right. And
Wow.
then as soon as he flew down here and did all that shit, he like flew right back out. So like it was everything was very meticulous, everything was
Wow.
just um very on had to be at a certain level. We had to go and talk to a liquor distributor to
Mm.
get his sake because he makes a sake, and
Wow.
nobody here in tech in at least in Houston didn't sold it.
Oh.
So we had to talk to a liquor distributor because luckily Brandon was working for a restaurant at the time, so he
Right.
was able to get with the liquor distributor and get us a couple of cases of the sake.
Jeez. Wow.
So that was crazy. I figured out what my third one was. My third one was um, Fire. We did that at Secret Group. That one was
Whoa.
just a crazy.
Dumbfire?
Yeah, it was just a crazy party. It was
Right.
just crazy. We had I don't know, some like strippers were on stage.
I
I
mean, I
didn't know there
believe
were
it with
strippers.
Dumbfire. I believe.
I didn't know there were strippers at the time. They were just random chicks that just showed up. I
Right.
don't no, we didn't know who the hell they were.
Right.
They just got on stage, and you know how he is. Anyway,
Yeah.
to me, the most funnest party out of all of them that we've done was with Green Velvet.
Oh, of course, man.
We had a ball again. He's homely for life now. Like hey, I'm about to go DJ over here in Florida. You want to come through? I'm like, Sure, man. Yeah, I'll come through. He's like, yeah, I got your ticket and everything like that. Everything's already set up. You know what it is, and it's really great. I'm on the his DJ pool, so like he'll just throw me like tracks here and there and stuff like that. So that's also very nice. But it was a real like I knew I liked his music, right? I've never seen him play live until that day, and it was just kind of like, okay, it's I don't know if you could say this about many artists, but he's one of the very few artists that can play all his entire collection and still have plenty of music left over the entire night.
I mean, from Green Velvet to Cashmere. I mean, you've got
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, he's got
huge back catalog. Yeah.
so much music. He could play probably an 8 hour set, and it would just be all his tracks.
Exactly. Yeah, I think so.
And I was just kind of like, I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh man, this is yours too, isn't it? And he was playing on the track. Oh, this is yours too, isn't it? Oh yeah, you on this one too. I forgot about this track. Oh yeah, yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
But
Green Velvet.
here's one story that he shared with me, or at least about his one famous track, La La Land, which
Uh,
I think most people know.
Talking about those
That's
little pills.
so that song is actually an anti-drug song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is not a druggy song. It's an anti-drug song. It's about a friend of his that used to do a lot of drugs, and nobody really listens to the track to the end. But the end part of the lyrics, or when it starts phasing out, it says, "How I'm gonna pay my rent today? How I'm gonna get to work today?" Because basically you don't have no money, you just spending it on drugs.
All right.
So it's a kind of like, hey, it sounds it
It's a
the
cautionary
luxury
tale.
part is a cautionary tale. Yeah, it looks fun and everything like that, but then there's consequences to what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
but even to this day, people when I tell people that they're like, "It's an anti-drug song." I'm like, "Yeah, it's an
Yeah,
anti-drug."
that is cool. That is cool.
Yeah,
That's cool to
yeah.
know. That's a little bit of history. But you tell everybody how they could find you if you got a website, if you got Instagram, any kind of socials. How do they find out about you?
Uh, Instagram is probably the best place to hit me. DJ Ice Cream. I've had numerous people try to get that what do you call it that name from me. They was like, "Hey, can I have that name?" I was like, "No, you cannot have this name. This is the old school. Some chicks gave it to me a long time ago, and I'm gonna stick with it. Everybody who knows what it means knows what it means. So
DJ Ice
yeah, you
Cream.
can find me on DJ Ice Cream.
A
Yeah, do
wait,
DJ Ice
you
Cream.
put two and two. Anybody could put two and two together here and figure DJ Ice Cream given by a girl is probably something we don't want to say in
Girls, group of girls.
oh,
It was
group
a
of
group of girls
girls.
that I used to
Excuse
hang
me.
out. Yeah, I used to hang out with in San Antonio, and they just called me Ice Cream on random because my friends used to make fun of me in like my name, so like that IC, my initials, and
Okay.
ICEE, and then ice cream, ice latte. They went kind of all over the place, and then the girls just said no ice cream, and then I was like, all right, cool, we can go ice cream, really
That's
fine.
funny. Did you ever
Um,
hang out with DJ Rise and JJ Lopez and those guys out there in
which
DJ
guys?
Rise and Deep Feel? Actually, they went later on by their regular names. Leo. Um, what is Leo DJ Rise's regular name? I forgot his last name. Leo. And then JJ Lopez is what Deep Feel eventually went by. But my sister Stroke, and
Mhm.
them were like really tight.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if that was kind of your era of San Antonio electronic music scene.
No, I was with. We didn't really have that many people that were DJing like that type of music soulful. Like in my time, it was like Silly C. Um, I think he came down here and played the Prior Urbana once before.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I can't really think of. Oh, I can't think of his name. He DJs out in Austin now. black guy, short. Um, he used to DJ in San Antonio for like a hot minute, but that was kind of before I was allowed to be in those clubs. But because it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
very 21 and up. I just can't think of his name on the top of my head.
Did you
They
ever
also
get
had
into?
Sun City Hustlers.
Okay, yeah,
You remember those guys? Those
yeah,
those
yeah,
guys were out in San Antonio too. Yeah.
yeah, man. I dig San Antonio scene, man. There's some heads, like some deep heads, and Leo and JJ are two of those guys that I know really well. We go back to when I first started DJing. I used to actually buy records from San Antonio because Leo worked at a record store out there, and I'm gonna forget the damn name right now, but it was um, it was awesome. I would call up, literally call up my phone. I would call their hardline phone, and he would play music, just like hold the phone up to the speaker and be like, "What do you think about this?" And I'd be like, "Yeah,
That's
I want it. I want that. I want that. I want that." So that was a lot
no,
of
no,
fun.
that's the homie right there because a lot of people wouldn't do that shit for you.
No, that's for sure. Yeah, he knew that I was trying to play like soulful house music and garage
Hmm.
out here, and he was one of the buyers for the record store. So you would always just say, "Hey, yo, you need to hear this and this," and I would buy them up immediately, man. But they do something at the Soul Spot. It's a little place, little venue out there. They still out there playing vinyl. Got the rotary mixers, the whole thing. It's pretty dope. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a one point in my life, I guess, when I was kind of like, man, I don't want to play on that old dusty stuff. And now I'm all like, oh man, a rotary mixer would be like real fucking fly. You know what
I
I mean?
know, man.
So
I'm staring at that Master Sounds um rotary mixer, and I'm like, man, I think that's gonna take the place of all this right here. It's like
right,
I'll have
right,
like a
just that
full rotary setup.
that nice warm analog sound.
Yeah,
That you
exactly,
can't
man.
you really can't beat it.
Well, thanks a lot for your time today, Ian. Look forward to seeing you on the dance floor and seeing you on the decks. You got any final shout outs you want to give?
No. Shout out to you and Nimbus for inviting me out. I really, really appreciate it. I have much love for you guys and much respect. And yeah, hopefully it should be fun. We're gonna
Yeah,
have
man.
we're gonna have some mutual friends in the room, so at least it'll be a little bit comfortable.
Oh yeah, it'll be good. I wish I could just time warp in there, or like a Star Trek, beam myself in and then out. But I'm gonna be missing this one, but I'll be there in spirit on the dance floor.
Absolutely, man. You good?
All right, brother.
All
Peace
right.
out. Have a good one.
See ya.